Hey, what's going on? It's the Maintenance Kid here again, bringing you yet another maintenance video. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of talking. I'm going to be talking about the 5 things that I wish I'd known before I started maintenance. Alright, so let's get started. Number 5. I wish I knew and understood how much work and time it took to maintain a pool for one season. So, so I've been at this property for 3 years now. I'm going into the 4th season with the pool, but I'm getting a little more confident in it. I'm CPO certified, so I've gone through the certified pool operating class, and I understand the water chemistry a lot more than I did when I first started. But now, when I first started, I knew 2 things about pools. One, there shouldn't be so much chlorine that it burns your eyes. And 2, the water needs to be clear so you can swim in it. Right? Well, it goes a lot more in depth than that, right? So much so that they have a class that that you could take. Luckily, I work for a great management company, and they actually pay for my class. So shout outs to them, kudos to them. They definitely making me a better person, better maintenance man. So making myself more marketable, always trying to better ourselves, right? But yeah, like I said, the pool, man, there's a whole chemistry to it. It's wild about how much time and effort it takes to maintain a pool. Every morning, even if you have the best pool, in the best location with, the sun that's not eating up your chlorine every day, trees that are, shedding off everywhere into your pool. You still have to get out there and scrub that tile. You still gotta, vacuum the pool, multiple times a week. You have to get out there. We have a 50 by 50 foot pool here at our apartment complex, so it's a good sized pool. And then there's other issues that come about. Maybe one year you already had in the budget to go ahead and service all the sand filters. We use sand filters here. There's different kinds of, filter substrates, but and different types of filters. But we have sand filters here. We went ahead and had them all serviced last year, and about a month into our pool season, our pool pump went out. Right, so an unexpected huge cost that we had to take care of, and then shortly after that, we had the water looking crystal clear, levels are perfect, balanced, everything's right, and the kids are enjoying it. But after they've been in our pool for a couple of hours, their feet get a little soft, and the bottom of our pool started cutting the bottom of their feet up. So then we had to drain the whole pool and refill it back up, right? It's kind of, hard to tell corporate, hey, I'm going to have to borrow another 67,000 gallons. I know I did, I borrowed, 67,000 gallons last month, but I need to do it again because we got to, polish up the bottom of the pool. And not to mention, we also need to pay someone to polish up the bottom of the pool, right? So it's under warranty. They're very expensive. They're very labor intensive. I would not have known it had I not, started maintenance and actually maintained a pool. But like I said, I've been here for 3 years, going on the 4th year, and I'm pretty comfortable with our pool now. I can get a good rough estimate on how much, chlorine that the sun's going to eat up in the day. Like I said, there's a whole pool water chemistry, to it, and so. After you get it down pat and you know what to add in to lower this level, which is going to bounce this level up, I'll get into more of that in a later video, but I definitely recommend the CPO Certified Pool Operator class. I did mine through Chadwell, which is one of our our delivery guys that come and deliver all our products. They also offer classes. As well as my EPA. I'm also EPA certified. Again, my management company paid for it, which is, a great blessing. It's a huge bonus if you really think about it. That goes kind of under the table that you don't see at the end of the year on your tag. Whenever you get your W-2s, but they help out. It helps let you name your own price, right? So that's what we're always trying to do. We're out here trying to make more money, make a better living for ourselves and for our families, right? But yep, that's number 5. I wish I knew how much time and effort it took to maintain a pool through a whole season. Shout out to Randy. Randy was one of my friend's dads who had a pool growing up, and he always had his water perfect, crystal clear. All 5, 6, 7 of us in the neighborhood would go and swim in his pool every single day. And the first year I started, I always thought about him. I was like, man, how did Randy make sure that all his, the water was perfect every single day? He had a tough crowd to please. We was some bad kids. So, but yeah, so shout out to Randy for keeping the water perfect for us. Number 4, I wish I knew and understood emergency calls whenever I signed up. Right. Different properties are going to have different emergency calls. I work at a low-income housing property, which we get a huge variety of people. We have the older folks who could be stopping a leak with a bucket of water that's pumping out 10 gallons a minute, all night long or all weekend long, and don't want to bother you on your weekend, right? Well, we have some of those, and we have some people that call because the printer that's in the business center ran out of paper, right? Like I said, it's not an emergency to everybody, and I understand that it might be your emergency, but they're not going to pay us, to come out and put paper in the printer for you. There's emergency calls and there's not emergency calls, like ovens. Ovens aren't an emergency. Even if it's Thanksgiving, weekend. It's Thursday. Wednesday night the oven went out. I'm cooking for my family for the past 30 years. Everybody's coming over to my apartment. Well, it's not an emergency on Thanksgiving as much as it's not an emergency on Tuesday. Kind of really bites. Because you could have really been that guy, that lady's hero. You could have came out, fixed a bake element real quick. Been out the door. But you could have been their hero, and but it's illegal. It's really illegal. Because if you don't come out for everybody's oven, and you come out for someone else's, then you're showing favoritism, right? And especially here at a low-income housing, we have to be very, very careful to make sure that we treat everybody equally and everyone the same, because the residents talk, and if Miss Jackson's oven went out and you went out and fixed it on Thanksgiving, and then next week later Miss Johnson's oven went out, and you don't go out there, if they happen to talk and say, yeah, the maintenance guy came out and fixed mine, well, now you're at a lawsuit, so you got to be very careful about the emergency calls. We get emergency calls from everything from, like I said, the paper in the printer to my apartment's flooding out, and it makes for a long night whenever you have water dripping from the ceiling from the apartment above you, right? But yep, that's number 4, the emergency calls. We have strict guidelines on what's an emergency call and what's not, and everybody has to abide by them rules, so that we're not treating one person as fair as the next, right? So yep, number 4. I wish I knew more about the emergency calls prior to starting maintenance. Oh, but not to mention that if you're on call, you have to be. We don't require you to be on property all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you have to make yourself available, right? So if you're on call and it's it's a weekend, you can't do what you would do if you weren't on call, right? You couldn't go 40, 50 miles out to your favorite restaurant or whatnot, but you have to kind of like idle around the property. kind of puts a damper on your weekend. I've gotten pretty used to it now. All my friends and family have gotten used to it. You know, if they're stuck on the side of the road, they just know not to call me on my emergency call because, well, you know, I got to be around, you know, around the property and, you know, wait for possibly someone's, you know, bathtub to, you know, shower head spray off and, you know, bust off and spraying water everywhere. So, yep. So, like I said, number 4 was emergency calls. Number 3. I never realized how much trash got thrown down even whenever there's dumpsters provided on our property. And like I said before, I've only been at this property, so some of the things that I wish I would have known in maintenance probably could have been different had I worked at different properties. But like I said, number 3 is how much trash gets thrown down every single day, right? And to my understanding, from talking to different sources, our waste management, which is our trash guy, you know, our different vendors and whatnot, trash is a big deal everywhere. You know, it's wild that someone could throw down anything, you know, and expect it to just either get picked up. I'm assuming, you know, that they expect it to get picked up, because I hope everyone knows that, you know, this trash just doesn't go away by itself. You know, and you know, when I first started, it almost felt like they were trying to take advantage of us. You know, like they could throw down whatever they wanted, and it would be gone by the time they woke up in the morning. You know, now there have been some residents who come out in the balcony in the morning and realize how much trash their child's thrown down last night, and they woke them up, and they made them get out there and pick up the trash. Which, you know, it's a good lesson for people, you know, I mean, and that's not just here, you know, we don't need to be throwing down trash anywhere. You know, well, you can't really tell it at all, really, but this is our settling pond back here, our retention pond, and, yeah, you can't see it on the video, but especially right through here, it's completely littered with trash. Completely littered with trash, because people just throw down their cups and their thing, you know, whatever, you know, their bags of McDonald's that they went and got, you know, their sauces, their cups and everything, and somehow it makes it down into the storm drains, which, you know, drains to the river, which it comes here first, and this kind of actually helps with keeping trash out of the rivers, because it comes here into this basin here, and then a lot of the trash gets stuck on debris and trees and leaves and, you know, all the sticks and everything that's in it. But yeah, this little piece of property on our property, all the way around, is owned by the state, right? And even though we have to pay to maintain it every year, we have to come back and trim down everything that's under an inch thick. We're not allowed to cut anything that's over an inch thick, but usually we contract that out, because you know, all the time there's at least a little bit of water right through here, and it makes it really swampy. So, but yeah, we've been getting a lot of rain here lately, so it's as full as it's been since I've been here. But yeah, like I said, number 3 was how much trash gets thrown down. Now, we're on a big property here. You know, we have 15 of these buildings, right? One upstairs, one downstairs, one upstairs, one downstairs, all the way around. And like I said, we have 15 of these buildings and 16 apartments in each building, for a grand total of 240 units on our property. Now, I know that don't mean that there's 240 people that are throwing down this much trash, that it's 240 families, but it's really surprising on how much, like I said, how much trash gets thrown down. And to contribute to that, we used to have the kid who used to take the trash out for the elderly folks, you know, for, you know, a couple of dollars. Well, this particular kid would take the trash from the lady and the money, and walk it around to the side of the building and drop it right behind the bush, right? And every time we would have to go through, we go through the trash here, and if we find some mail or something that can prove that it was their trash, we charge them a $25 dumping fee. It has helped with it. We've had we've had three managers since I've been here. You know, two of them were really adamant about picking up the trash and charging them. Which is one of the current ones. Which I hate to see someone get charged $25 for anything, but it's like I said, it's out of hand on how much trash gets thrown down. It's really amazing, like I said, how much debris and trash gets thrown away, and I know that a lot of it could be coming from the properties or streets over or whatnot, but it's definitely a problem on our property. So it's something we have to combat every day. We just come in, we take care of it, we make the best of it. We try to have fun doing it, but and it's actually really nice on the days like today. Like I said, we've had a lot of rain, so it's kind of nice and warm now. You got nice cloud coverage, and like I said, it's a great day to pick up the grounds today. But take for yesterday, for example, we got inches of rain almost yesterday, and it was dumping buckets of water on us, and those are the kind of days that it kind of puts a damper on it. But like I said, we make the best of it. It's our job. We get paid to do it. So if you want to pay me, $13, $14, $15 to pick up trash, I'll pick it up. I'm not tripping over it. So, but yep, number 3 was how much trash gets thrown down on our property every single day. The second thing I wish I'd known when I started maintenance was how intimidating it is. Going back to the pools, we get paid to make sure that the pool's right and make sure that it's open and make sure it's open on time and closed on time and all that good jazz. And if something goes wrong and you have to close the pool, it's real intimidating telling the residents, hey, look, the pool's down. Someone had an accident in the pool. We're getting it cleaned up now, and it'll be reopened later. And even though that's the answer, it has to be. It's intimidating, that people, brought all their friends and family and they're about to have a cookout by the pool and everything, and to tell them, hey, look, chlorine level's too high. We're gonna have to drop it. We're gonna have to dump some of this water out and fill it back up. We're gonna have to adjust some levels, right? So, it's intimidating, telling someone who just watched their $300 or $400 TV drown because of a water heater that busted upstairs and it's leaking down onto the TV, tell them, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow or Monday and talk to the office, right? So it's real intimidating, like I said, and those are the answers that they have to be, but, it's, whenever you have people, staring back at you, expecting answers, it's real intimidating for the new maintenance guy to tell them these answers, and, even though that's the answers that they have to be, it's intimidating telling a lady that's been doing Christmas, for her family for 30 years that, yeah, your carpet's going to have to be flopping in the wind because we have the big squirrel cage, blowers up underneath it, and you're going to have to leave them running, and you're going to have to leave the dehumidifier running, while your family's here. And they don't always like it, but, it's the answer that it has to be. But like I said, it's real intimidating telling, folks that, yeah, your Christmas is going to have a little damper on it because there's no padding under your carpet and it's flopping in the wind, right? So, yep, so that's number 2. Like I said, it's real intimidating. Like, I'm only a tech, and so I'm not a supervisor, but like I said, some of the answers you have to give folks, that it's kind of intimidating because you don't know what their reaction is going to be. We've had threats and stuff. On answers that's the answer. We've had to kick people out and get threatened by them. From the pool. Like, look, dude, you don't live here, man. You got to go. And we just get threatened. But like I said, it's like I said, the job's intimidating. Some of the answers we have to give folks is intimidating. And it's intimidating in itself to walk into an apartment and look up at the ceiling, and have water dripping from the ceiling. It's, like I said, it's intimidating. That's why I put it as number 2. So, but this next one's gonna get you. Number 1. The number 1 thing that I wish I had known about maintenance prior to starting maintenance is how much protection that we're gonna have, right? Like, we're out in the elements all day, like I said, it's a beautiful day today, but yesterday it was just dumping buckets of water. So we had to have enough protection and gear up for the rain. We had our raincoats on yesterday. We had our shoes. Like I like to wear like waterproof shoes. Enough to not have my feet soaking wet. All day long. Speaking of shoes, so I have 2 pairs of shoes. I have my ground shoes that I hit the grounds with, because like, as nice as it is today, it's still muddy. This is where someone got stuck the other day. Yep. Yeah, he got stuck. He brought his F-150 back here and got it stuck. He should have bought a Chevy. Go Chevy. But yeah, he busted a tire out on one side. And I could tell it. And then when we went up front, there's mud all over the Ford, and a busted tire, and he just left all the evidence everywhere. But that's besides the point. But like I said, it's still wet and muddy out today. So, but yeah, I always carry a second pair of shoes, one for the grounds and one to go into these apartments. Because I don't want to have to run into the thing of, you ain't wearing them in my apartment, right? So I just wear nice shoes to avoid it, and beyond that, I don't want to ruin their carpet, so just out of respect and whatnot. So I like to carry or bring a nice pair of shoes that I can wear in the apartment, and more of an outside pair. Like I said, we it was cold yesterday. It was 34 degrees. At some point, it was sleeting. It had a little slush on the ground. So, we had to bundle up for the weather. For the winter weather. For the, we're outside in the heat. Protection could go as far as drinking lots of water. When we're outside. Maybe buying some popsicles whenever it's really hot, or if it's hot outside, you can almost guarantee you we're going to be working on an AC somewhere. In an apartment that's probably usually as hot, or if not hotter, than it is outside. So, in reverse for the heat, we're outside, heating up our R22, right? With the heat gun or something. So, trying to get it to flow again and vaporize so that we could charge the units. But yeah, like I said, we expose ourselves to a lot. You don't know what kind of illnesses these folks have, and I go into probably 10 to 15 apartments a day. Like, it would be really easy for me to get sick. All it takes is for one person to, not wash off, their apartment, disinfect their apartment while they're sick, or have an emergency, or anything, doing any kind of work while they're sick, and then, we'll get sick, and then we can pass it on to 10 or 15 more people, because like I said, we go into 10 or 15 apartments a day, and, like I said, you got to remember, what you can't see can hurt you, we just got done doing an apartment that the lady had MRSA, really terrible disease, or illness or whatnot, staph infection, I guess. It's a superpower staph infection. I don't know much about it, but I know it's harmful, and it could harm you. So we got to make sure we're wearing our rubber gloves. I wear rubber gloves almost on every work order, because not everyone's as sanitary as you might be, and even if they're not sick, something that they could be carrying, could carry on with you, and like I said, we don't want to be sick, and we definitely don't want to get anyone else sick. So So like I said, I try to keep, you know, fresh rubber gloves, well, latex gloves around there, so that whenever I'm at any apartment that, you know, really I almost wear them almost all the time, but I would definitely wear some on, you know, on some, even if I didn't wear gloves. But yeah, like I said, you know, we're cutting things. You know, we got to wear glasses. You know, we're out in the sun a lot. You know, we might need sunblock. All right, that's the 5 things I wish I'd known before starting maintenance. I'll go over the list again for you one more time. Number 5 was the pools. Like I said before, I wish I knew how much time and effort it took to maintain a pool for a year. Number 4 was the emergency calls, right? You got to make yourself available. You know, you could be watching your Predators, go Preds. You know, spank the Blues, you know, on a Thursday evening at 9 o'clock at night, and someone's toilet, you know, floods over, and so now you got to show up. So number 3 was how much trash we get around the property. You know, like I said, we get a ton of trash. I got a new video coming out on how we get rid of that trash. It was the easiest method that we found. Number 2 was the intimidation factor, right? You know, we have to tell these residents, you know, some things that they don't really necessarily like to hear, but they have to hear, you know, because, you know, that's the answer. But yeah, like I said, it could be an intimidating, intimidating job. And number 1, like I said, was protection. You know, we expose ourselves to a lot. We expose ourselves to the elements. We expose ourselves to illnesses and diseases, you know. So we got to make sure that we're taking our, you know, best step at preventing those from, you know, getting into us and all that good jazz. So, yep. So if you like this video, you can go ahead and give me the thumbs up. You know, if you have a different list of 5 and mine didn't line up just with yours, you know, go ahead and leave me a comment and tell me why. You know, like I said, I'm only going off and based off what I've experienced for the past 3 years, and I've only been at this property. But yeah, go ahead and comment down below, and, you know, let me know if you like the video. You can comment down below too. But yeah, and if you like maintenance videos, you can go ahead and click the subscribe button. It's down there on the bottom right hand side. You know, it's a little red button, and you'll get a little bell notification every time I post a new video. And you know, I'm not going to blow your stuff up, but I try to post, you know, once or twice a week, you know, depending on what's going on and how busy we are. But yep, until next time.